Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Curtis Watts, Master Cancer, mastering of this spiritual journey. And today I'm going to discuss my spiritual journey and where it began. When I first woke up, it was 2016, but my story goes back way back before that. As far as I can remember, I going to start with childhood because what's going on now starts then, and then is what really shapes you into what you're doing now. And it's really important to reflect and express your childhood so you can let go of so many things that hold you back, that might lead to codependency, relying on people to love you, and run into toxic situations that are not even serving you. So when I was a child, I had my mother, and my father wasn't around like the typical story. But not everybody goes through this. Everybody has their different things. But with mine, my mother, she passed when I was around 8, 9, 10. I don't remember, but she wasn't there, and that really impacted me. But luckily, I had like a good support system with my family, and it was my cousins, my aunt. They really took me in as their own. But deep down, something was missing within me. It was that unconditional love part that was kind of missing. And when you go without that part, you start putting conditions on how you treat people and how you view everything. Everything. You start to walk on eggshells. You might become toxic, you might become passive, you might become different things. But luckily, I didn't get too deep into that. I may have became passive a little bit to seek approval of others and not be confrontational. Because as I got older, I did see violence. I did see violence domestically and all around, arguments between certain people. And I used to still visit my so-called dad, or I really don't call him that because I don't even talk to him no more. But at that time, I was smart enough to leave that situation because I used to go over there on the weekends that I remember. And on the weekends, I saw a whole bunch of horrible stuff. And something within me said, don't go back. But it was over selfish things that I didn't go back for. Because it was my birthday and I wanted a Power Wheel, but he got me a bike. And I was like, I don't want that bike. And he was like, oh, well, get this bike. And that triggered me. That triggered me saying, you know what? I'm not coming back. And now looking back, I'm glad that I didn't go back because the others, uh, they have their own stories. They came. I just came out that situation good, and then I just started being with my cousins on my mother's side, and they treated me really, really good until everything was good until you get into relationships, and it's in my early 20s, like the real serious relationships. Because I was always in a relationship as a young kid, always had a girlfriend or a girl I liked. Even in elementary school, I had a girl who I liked a crush on, and she's just my girlfriend. So all the way through that until high school, when I wasn't really confident, but I would still get people. I would still attract people. I would still attract all these different energies, but I still didn't feel really secured. I wasn't really confident in myself. And shoot, I didn't even do anything until I was 18, like in that really relationship department of like having intercourse and stuff like that. It wasn't until 18. So around my 20s, I had my daughter, and that woke me up even more. But even before that, I wasn't really treating, I guess, the girl I was with at the time really good. I was still in the 20s, got the like, looking around here, there, there. There was no direction. There was always that little bit of looking for love and looking for something to fulfill me because something was missing. I was always looking for fulfillment and being codependent because codependency comes in different forms. Even if you're in a relationship and you're not really vibing with that person, but then you look for the next best thing, and then you keep going for the next best thing and next best thing. That's a codependency of trying to fulfill yourself. And I saw that happening to me because when you don't treat the person you're with right, and you're just looking for the next best thing, but you're still with the person, that's like a toxic codependency that people need to be aware of and not do. Because I was doing that. I was 21, 20, 22. I was doing all that stuff. And that relationship with this energy was a Libra, a Libra energy. And I say that because my mother was a Libra, my sister's a Libra. So all these Libra energies, and the Libra, I'm a Libra rising in my chart. So I have to get away from that stuff because my North Node is Aries. And in my past life, quote unquote, or I went through that transition, I was had major relationships of being with people for a long period of time and they teaching me this stuff. So after I got out of that relationship with my daughter's mom, I jumped right into another relationship. Now this relationship it was really good in the beginning. It was great. It was like looking from the outside, it was kind of perfect. And this one was maybe the same but different. It was another Libra, but the only thing I did was jump from one to another, and that was not healthy. That was not healthy. I I would advise anybody not to do that. To just jump into the next thing. Don't do that because I'm still going off of codependency. And then this one was really a major one because I moved in with a person and I lived with them, and it was like a major relationship and all of that stuff. So it was all good until I woke up. Woke up to spirituality. And within the spirituality, I was studying death. I was studying more looking into the Bible and stuff like that. And like, oh, like things wasn't adding up to me, but I would not keep quiet about it. I'll spread my message. And the person who I was with was kind of religious, so it started being a clash. So this was a part of a awakening of my soul, of my greatness. That's why relationships could do that to you. Like they could awaken you to your power, but you can't be attached. Because even after I awoken, I kept getting these signs. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And I kept looking outside. I was looking outside. I was looking like, oh, should I stay? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I go? I don't want to hurt this person. So you start putting their feelings before yours, and you don't want to do that because you're there unhappy, all alone, learning all this information and not even be able to really properly express yourself because the other person really doesn't understand where you're coming from or what you're going through. So don't put nobody on the pedestal or you're going to be unhappy. That's the truth. Even when it comes to the spirituality, like if you're in something and you wake up and the other person is not with it at all, I I don't know, I would leave because you're just going to be there suffering and trying to make it's like living two different lives. Like you got to be over here with your people, and then you go back over there, and there's no real growth because y'all on two different paths, and two different paths go two different ways. Even though in a relationship you're supposed to be two different people, but y'all should have the same kind of goal, same like where's this going, or it's going to be out of whack. So even within that relationship, I started talking to someone who understood me, and she was a Aries where I was supposed to go. It's in my chart. It's my North Node, so I'm supposed to be that leader and not really rely on a relationship to fulfill me. So I went that route a little bit, but I still had doubt. I still had doubt within myself. I didn't have trust. I didn't have that a little bit of confidence. I was still scared. I would just go back and forth. It was all uneasy, unpleasant, confusing. And then I messed that up by not going through with it. And now looking back, I'm like, all right, that was a sign to follow through with what I need to do. So after that, I went back to a relationship and I was like, all right, let's try to make this work. I tried it and then it was still going downhill. So the next time I met a long time friend I knew who was a Gemini. Now this Gemini woke me up 'cause once I met met up back with her, I just left the Libra, like, I'm out, 'cause it was, like, building, it was like, my confidence was building, 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 and when I got with the Gemini, it was a real awakening. This was codependency on steroids, but it was something to really wake me up to the next level. 'Cause we were just friends, but friends with benefits, and it was like a relationship, but it wasn't really. And she was religious, but I knew better, but something blinded me. I don't know what it was. Something in me blinded me, tried to change this person to be on my level. She was almost on a little bit. She was show signs here and there of being on my level, but she really wasn't on it. She would try, but she still wasn't. And the backstory to her was she didn't even heal from a situation that she dealt with before. So it was a situation where broke people destroy broke people. So if you're toxic, you're just gonna break another person, and it's just gonna keep going until you really heal yourself. Because it's a it's a long line of people who are in that cycle and can't get out. So I advise anyone that if you keep getting into toxic situations, you need to really heal yourself. So I was in this toxic, I guess, just call it relation of energy, like exchange. Because we'll do everything. And then one day she was like, she's done with it. So that really broke, well, my heart was hurting from that. Like, that was like a low blow to like out of nowhere because I was still in that codependency phase. I was trying to satisfy it anyway, like, oh, like me, love me this way, that way, and do everything, give her everything, this and that. And that didn't even work. That went right against me. So when she left, a few months later, she tried to come back, but I wasn't having that. I entertained her for a little bit, but then she went back away. So I'm like, all right, this is not supposed to meant to be. And my healing process was really good. That's when I found self love and meditation and all that stuff because I didn't know none of that before that situation. So all these situations, all these relationships that I went through really helped me get to this point right now. And this was last year that um, I met that Gemini. And what's going on this year is different levels of discovery and running into different energies. This year, I ran into like two soulmates. One was like a Pisces, what was it? Pisces? Yeah, Pisces. And one was a Capricorn. Now the Pisces, she it was a strong connection, but it was it was not right. It was shaky 'cause I could tell that she wasn't as sure of herself, and then she just, I guess, ghosted me, and I'm like, "Okay." But that was a test to see if I did the work of healing and self-love. So, that didn't phase me because I kept open of everything. Like, I just moved on from that. Cause that was only, like, 2 weeks that I was talking to that person, so that didn't phase me. And then I ran into a friend that's a Capricorn. Now our dynamic was real smooth. Now she taught me higher levels of this stuff. Like, she brought me into my Aries and really leveled me up. So, I'm here to say that soulmates, twin flames, they come in different forms. They might come in friends or lovers, and they will level you up when you're ready, and you just can't be attached to them in that way that will destroy you. Like, heartbroken, or you're doing things out of character and you're just running for them. You really can't do that. You gotta, like, be there, be present, be in the now, go with the flow, learn from them, and if that connection is there, you could feel them even when they're not there. Like, you got dreams of them, you have a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we're friends, like, you could build friendships. It doesn't always have to be about relationships and love and, like, romanticize about that stuff. It don't always have to be about that. It's about ascending and getting on different levels so you can be ready for that person that enters your life next. So it won't be toxic and you won't be repeating and repeating and repeating these cycles. And so now I'm still learning. It's like you just gotta keep going, reassuring and going to the next level. Cause somebody might look at me like, "Oh, he's good. Like, oh, he's great." But then I might look at someone else and like, "Oh, they great." And you trying to expand to where they at, but you don't wanna compare yours to theirs. But naturally, that's what we do. We look at other people like, "Oh, we wanna be like them." But you're good where you at because all the pain, all the hurt, all the sorrow happened for a reason that you are right now. So you take all of those lessons, you put in a book, and you reverse all that story, and you be above your feelings, and you don't put the past on the next person because the next person didn't do anything to you that the other past did. Until you separate pain from love and joy and what you deserve, you're not going to really enjoy the fruit of your living. I ain't gonna say labor because you don't have to work that hard. You just gotta live and rise and trust and all that love. Like, the things should be easy. It shouldn't be hard. It's just knowing yourself and really looking deep within and seeing what's really missing. Like, is that inner child missing? Did somebody break your mind, or like, are you really codependent on the past? That's what it is. It's just being codependent on the past and not even trusting your own ability to move into the future. and really live. But that's my whole story, and that's how now I'm going to open my services up and help other people and heal them because I know what it takes to heal because I healed myself from a whole bunch of things. I know codependency because I went through that. I know how to bring in people, like manifest them, because you can't manifest the right things from a broken standpoint, or you're gonna keep manifesting broken things in toxic situations. So you can I'm gonna leave my information down because I'm gonna be coaching people and help with that if they need further assistance. So I'm gonna see y'all on the next video and like, comment, and subscribe and share this video.